action against ocean pollution. And so I'm going to dive more into the project and the technicals and some of our aspects, some of our experience. So our why, so we are a dedicated team of technology enthusiasts. We share a deep concern for the environment, and we want to make sure that we're making the biggest impact possible. Everyone that's been to the beach, and I can almost guarantee you've all seen waste sitting on the beach every time you go. Even some countries, you go to the beach and you'll find like needles in the sand, and that's partly due to just dumping waste in boatfuls into the ocean. We have a very simple mission, which is to engage communities and individuals to report areas of waste and to attend cleanup events, and so we can collectively make an impact. And we have a shared vision of a cleaner and healthier planet. We're committed to creating a sustainable future, which is why we want to make sustainable product supply chains and promote products within those avenues. And of course, we want to make a lasting impact and leave a positive legacy for generations to come. The main problems that we see in with ocean pollution is mainly plastic, lack of awareness and engagement on ocean pollution, and ineffective data and collection action. The lack of awareness and engagement, I'll get into in a second, but like some of these things are really impactful on marine life, on coastal life, and also human life, because if a fish is eating plastic and we cook that fish and then eat it, then that's going to be impacting us as well. And of course, if we end up killing all of our food supply from the oceans, then that's going to lead to worse problems. So some of the facts, and these are really quite disturbing, right? So 612,000 square miles of waste in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, right? And that's disgusting, right? Like, I walked from Stirling to Edinburgh, right? And I couldn't imagine walking 612,000 square miles, not a chance. But 14 million tons of plastic end up in the ocean every year, and that's approximately 1.6 kilos for every person on the planet every year, which is terrible. Think of your entire life, that's more than your entire body weight that goes into the ocean. And so during lockdown, we've actually been hosting a Twitter space every Wednesday, so we can help promote more regenerative finance projects, and so we can meet people who are in the space and network. And we've been finding out that some American states have been, during lockdown, they were dumping 100% of their waste, their not just their general waste, but also 100% of all the recyclable materials as well, because the people were going to the recycling centres to sort it all out, and so they were literally just putting it on barges and just sending it out to the ocean and dumping it and coming back, which is disgusting. It's why, as I say, the syringes that you'll find on the beaches sometimes is partly to do with that, because that's medical waste as well, that was just getting dumped straight out there. So these are some of the things that we've been looking into. Plastic makes up 80% of all the pollution, ocean pollution that we've out there, and it's destroying marine life and also coral reefs. So if it's destroying coral reefs, it's destroying the habitats of marine life, which further impacts that more. So some of our solutions and why we're kind of focusing on these solutions. So we look to make an impact through innovation and action. We're a technology-driven platform, so for individuals, organizations, and communities. We look to financially incentivize users to encourage participation. As things like a universal basic income come out in the future, then this is going to be another way that people are going to be able to earn money and potentially pay their bills, while also making a positive impact. and empowering change through community engagement and sustainable solutions. So when a user joins on the mobile application, they'll be taking photos of areas of waste, and this will give us real-time reportings of trash. We'll actually be partnering with Salesforce, who will give us free licenses to Tableau, because we will pay for that. And we'll be using that to visualize all of the data that we collect, and so we can show this to governments, NGOs, CBOs, and we can make impactful decisions, legislation. We'll make a comprehensive database for targeted cleanup efforts. So when a community-backed organization goes to host a cleanup event, they'll be able to go through all of the data that we have and where it's in their local areas, and they'll be able to choose the most impactful areas where they'll be able to make the most impact during their cleanup event. And so we have a DAO fund wallet, or DAO treasury, which actually I should have named it, which will be able to set an amount of a pool of tokens that will be given out as rewards for those events. It will be a community elected committee. So we did try and debate whether we were going to have full decentralization where everyone could make and vote on how much funds were going to go to each community-led cleanup. But the reason that we chose a community elected committee is because bad actors might not be always pushing for the right funds to go to the right place, because if a group of people are going to one event, they're going to push for more funds to go to that event so they get paid more. So we decided a community elected committee ensures direct community control because they control the committee themselves, and also fosters a sense of collective impact. The users are able to spend their reward tokens in two different ways. They're able to off-ramp that, so they'll get it directly to their fiat bank, but also so that they're able to purchase eco-friendly items. This is through creating sustainable supply chains and offering that option for users, and just so we can make a positive world. So our data collection tool, how that works is a user will be on the mobile application. They'll send the photo to the backend, which is the AquaPurge backend. It will return rewards based on the 3 different scores. Well, an AI model checking the severity of the waste, an AI model identifying the types of waste in the image, and then a script calculating a reward token modifier based on the rewards in the general area and the severity of those reports, number of reports, and then the backend will send a request to the smart contract to send those tokens to the user. Is there any questions?
Does it just mint new tokens?
We're not 100% on if we want to go with minting new tokens or if we want to go with sending from Treasury. But thank you for raising that point. That is something that we are still discussing because we've not had full launch yet. We're still in our design stage, and we're applying for our status as a charity as Scottish Charitable Incorporated Organisation, and so with that that'll take a little while. So before we fully launch, for a community-led cleanup. A host will set up the cleanup event on the mobile application. Users can register to attend that cleanup event, and then the user will get to the event, and the host will scan a QR code generated by the user's mobile application. This contains an elliptic curve signature, which is just a signature from a wallet on the Ethereum virtual machine. This doesn't cost any gas for the user, and every time the user brings back waste for the host to scan, they will essentially confirm the amount of waste on the mobile applications, and the user will generate another QR code which the host will scan, and then it will send, at the end of the event, it will send all of these elliptic curve signatures over to the back end, which will calculate rewards, and I'll go into how the rewards are calculated. But it will send reward tokens to the users for their currencies, and then also it will send soulbound NFTs as a way of being able to show social proof. And so this kind of gives way for competitive world positive action, and creating a leaderboard for how many events you've participated in, how much waste you've reported, how much waste you've collected, what events you went to. And so a soulbound NFT, for those who don't know, is once an NFT has been sent to your wallet, it can't leave, no matter what you do. You can hide it on OpenSea or something, but it will never leave your wallet and never be transferred to any other person. So it's there as a way of social proof. For example, if you're going to a job interview, but you've attended 50 cleanup events, as like a moral plus, you could say to them, I've done this, and they say, okay, show the proof, show your wallet, and they'll be able to see that, yes, you've attended 50 events, you've cleaned up 100 kilos of trash, and you've made a positive impact, and you've committed to a greener world. For example, like working in a charity probably makes sense. So focusing on the user experience, we wanted to make sure, like the internet, right? No one, not no one, but the masses don't understand how the internet works, right? But we all use it, right? So why should blockchain be any different, right? So a user will use the mobile application, which generates a wallet on initiation. They will, when they go to spend their tokens, they'll sign a message, and they will delegate the permission of transferring tokens. So when they generate their wallet, they never have to fund their wallet with Ethereum once. We're actually looking at deploying on Polygon or the Kyoto protocol currently, maybe both. But they will send the signature to the back end, then that will go from the back end to a total smart contract, which allows the tokens to be transferred from the user's wallet, and then we'll go through the off-ramp into the supplier or to the user, which I should have put that in there, but at 2 a.m. This morning, I didn't put that part in there. Any questions? How we decide how much tokens are going to go to who in the cleanups. They are shared as participation rewards, bonus rewards, and team rewards. So when you join an event, you're automatically put into a team. When you participate, there's a section of the pool tokens that will be split between all participants. Parts of the pool tokens will be split between all participants based upon how many cleanup events they've attended, out of compared to all events. This is like a yield varying process. And then the rewards that go to the teams. So the rewards for the team rewards are yielded between teams based on how much a team has collected versus the cumulative amount collected, and then shared equally between the members of the team. And so that way, we know there are multiple mechanisms for being able to distribute tokens and funds. And even if you attend an event, you did something positive for the world, but you didn't necessarily do a lot, and you weren't as effective as other people, you're still getting paid for your time and for putting that effort into to saving our oceans and beaches. For the stakeholders of the project, we are incentivizing the communities. Obviously, if you're going to be going to the beach, right, it's going to be better if it's clean, if it's not full of waste all the time. For marine life, it's the literal existence of marine life. And then for education and research facilities, NGOs and governments, they all get access to the data. So for governments, they'll be able to make the most impactful legislation and policies. For NGOs, they'll be able to organize the most impactful events and cleanup events. And for the education and research facilities, they'll be able to use our data to make more impactful insights on the data given. So this is our team. Yes, all of these images are generated by AI. We didn't want to get professional photographers. So Ibrahim is the executive director. He's in Kenya. I'm technical director. Amar is the CTO. He's based in just outside Karachi, Pakistan. And then Amina Ali, she's also based in Kenya. So our partners for this project is the Scottish Blockchain Meetup, clearly here. Whaling Sailors, which is another NFT-based project down in south west England, I'm pretty sure. And they are mostly focused on bringing awareness to ocean pollution and working with companies to help bring that exposure out there. Salesforce, because Tableau. Web3 Talents is one of our recruitment agencies that we're working with for strategy and requirements. Polygon is one of ours, but that might be the Kyoto Protocol. We'll depend on how that goes. Of course, my own company, Scruffy Studios. However, my own company can help. And then, thank you for your time and energy. Really appreciate it. Listening to me mumble, stutter all the way through this thing. If you're looking to help at all, our website, AquaPurge.org. The UI is very basic, but that's just because we're in a very early stages and not funded. And of course, morning troops. Is there any questions? No questions? Oh, okay.
One thing I didn't quite understand was you mentioned at some point about having AI to recognise the waste, but then later I thought I saw something about measuring things in kilograms.
So this is the data collection. There's multiple parts. So the data collection, so we can analyze the data that's coming in and reward users for taking photos of waste.
So that would be like you'd see something and then you take a picture, not
yes.
take a picture of a black bin bag.
Yes,
right.
yes, and then that's based on the severity of the waste, the types of waste, and then also how much waste is being reported in that area. And then for the rewards being distributed, these are actually turned up to a cleanup event, right? And so we had to make sure that we had different settings for them because they're different parts of the project. Do you have a question? I thought you handled it.
So you could do this. A lot of this you could do just in like a purely like Web 2 like approach. A lot of this like data collection, things in Tableau, whatever. What was the big appeal of like using blockchain technology for this?
For the transparency of the transparency of all the financials, the donations that go into the liquidity pools, and just making sure that everything was public in terms of your payments and everything like that. I've been a Polygon advocate for about a year and a half. So I've been quite deep into the Polygon space. I'm also becoming a Polygon Guild leader. So we're very deep in Web3 technology, so it's just something that we decided to include. Any questions? Yeah.
I just wondered, so if somebody reports something, would they then be able to see later if that was picked up? Would that be something that was transparent?
That's a very, very good point. I appreciate you raising that. That is 100% a feature I'll push for, because we will have the we'll have to go over an area that the cleanup event is in, right? And it's just how I'm thinking about like the feature that you've raised. Maybe we blank out all of the waste that was within a general area, right, of a cleanup event, right? So then people can go back over if there was any new waste there and take new photos, right, of that waste, and if it's the same waste. But if you're attending a cleanup event and there are really, really concentrated, really bad areas of waste, then you would be able to go and collect that waste straight away and then go take it to the host. But yeah, I thank you for raising that point. Anyone else?
I have a lot of questions, but I'll not ask them. But I just wonder what good looks like for you. You know, so say in a year's time, where do you hope to be, and sort of what is the journey that you know what would a successful outcome of this program look like in say the next 5 years?
To have global. We were looking to go into like all countries, right? Because obviously it's not just limited to one country. And so we would be looking to have, and this is the point matching up, which is a very good thing for a 5-year timeline, which is to have recycling stations where the waste that we collect goes to and gets sorted and divided up. And so really to have a mechanism for world good, right, which can sit beside like a universal basic income and help push and incentivize humanity to do something good. Really, that's kind of our goals.
Okay, yeah, interesting. Because a lot of the waste gets generated in the first world, it ends up in the developing world, and actually, an incentive for people within the developing world to then help maybe clean that up, funded by the monies from the first world, right? That's a flow of, in a very crude way, but a flow of cash.
Well, we're
very broken at the moment, isn't it? So.
Well, we're setting up as SCIO, which means that corporations would get tax breaks for donating to us, right? So it wouldn't be just from the every normal person just donating. It would also be funds coming from larger companies and organizations that would be help funding these. But also having the public token and the public liquidity pools means that anyone who wanted to be able to make a difference by just purchasing the token can do so, even on the public blockchain.
I'm sure you've answered this already, but what's the utility of the token? Do you just immediately
It's just a form of currency for being able to for us. The main point of it, right, was that there isn't really many tokens out there with the delegation of permission of transferring, and so we baked that into our token, and that was one of the main reasons for having our own currency. We did kind of wonder if we were going to use a more centralized stablecoin like USDC, or if we were going to go with another one, but we decided making our own token and just adding that functionality in there to increase the user experience. Because much like the internet, you need to know how it works in order to use it, and so that's how we kind of took the approach to blockchain as well.
I'm interested to know, obviously, kind of where you mentioned there about kind of there being larger companies that of course really contribute to a lot of the waste that does end up in the oceans. And where you're saying kind of being able to partner, well not partner with them, but they can obviously have a tax break by donating. Would you be looking to kind of then partner with them some way down the line to prevent that kind of waste in the first place? Because there's plenty of corporations, a bit like with the carbon credit market, where they'll still do all the bad stuff, all the bad stuff that they're still doing in terms of emissions and that, but they'll just buy a bunch of carbon credits to offset it.
Yeah, that makes a good point. Like a bunch of the top companies in the ESG rankings are all oil companies. It doesn't make sense.
That's just because obviously they're still polluting just as badly.
Yeah.
But they're just buying carbon credits to offset.
Yes. So the idea for the sharing the data with governments is so they can make impactful legislation. And so if we're showing them that look, we're actually finding like needles that could be going into like people's feet when they're out on the beach. That maybe you should be taking positive action, positive legislation to stop these companies going out and just dumping all the waste in the oceans, or much like you're saying, if the opportunity comes up, we'll be pushing for a positive, positive direction.
And where is the starting point for this in terms of geographical coastal areas?
So the first cleanup event is in Kenya, and that's because we're potentially getting a $50,000 grant from Kyoto Protocol, which is a blockchain specifically for refi projects, and will be so that, and I went over the cost of the project and was like, this is insane, and tried to cut down as much as possible for the cleanup event, but we're looking to go global, so that's why the data collection it has the modifier based upon how many reports within the given area, so we can promote the widespread collection of data, because users will be more incentivized to go to an area which hasn't really had any reports in order to report that waste and